Hey there, real quick, before we begin, you're about to watch a live stream, which means you're really kind of behind the scenes here because these lessons are usually watched in the archives, but you're here for the live taping of them. So if we mess up really bad, we're probably going to chop that out, but you're going to get to see all of our bloopers and mistakes. We'll also chop this off, so no one is going to see this part of the lesson but you. And because you're behind the scenes, you're probably going to ignore my instructions when I say, like, pause the video and go practice or whatever. You can if you want. It's just that everyone in the chat room then will be in different places in the video. That's fine. When you want to join us live again, go down to the bottom of the video, click on the live button, and that should take you straight to where we actually are now. So now here comes the part for everybody else. I'm really glad you're with us. The archives are fine, but my favorite is talking to you live. So see you in the chat room. Welcome back to KidsLearnPianoLive.com. My name is Jamin, and as you can tell from the countdown clock here, the lesson is about to begin. If this is your first time playing piano, welcome. I'm very excited for you. You're going to do great. Hopefully you already received from us the welcome packet in the mail, and maybe you even got started on the Absolute Beginners video pack to teach you the names and the notes and things like that. But if not, that's fine. You'll do great. I'll show you how to play all the notes. And if I'm going too fast for you, you can always pause the video or rewind it and go over the more difficult parts. You can always pause the video or rewind it and go over the more difficult parts. And even if you only learn a little bit of this song and you don't learn the whole thing, you'll still learn enough to help you build skills so you can learn other songs faster in the future. So jump in, give it a try. You're bound to end up at least a little bit better than you even are right now. Throughout the lesson, I may refer to Klopple Academy, and you can check out that link on the website if you want. Basically, it's a program that takes you all the way from learning the names of the notes, the very beginning, through 12 levels of classical and jazz music, through all the skills that you would need to become a professional pianist. So you would learn all the same stuff that you would learn if you're taking regular traditional piano lessons, probably plus a little bit more, but it takes about 5 to 10 years to complete. So you can just try out the first level, see if it's the kind of thing that you like, or if you just care about today's lesson and learning this song, then just ignore all those references and focus on today's lesson. If you're watching this at LearnPianoLive.com, there should be a PDF and an MP3 button right next to this video. The MP3 is a play-along track that you can use to practice more after the lesson, but a lot of students like to print out the PDF right now so they have it during the lesson. Careful, it could be up to like 30 pages, so just find the couple pages that you want and print those out. If you decide not to, that's fine. I'll show you all of the notes on screen as we go through it. And we will be going through 5 different levels of this song that all use the same play-along track. So even if you've never played piano before, you'll still be able to do level 1. And then as we go through level 2, 3, 4, and 5, then when we use that same play-along track, you just keep playing your same version. If you're watching this lesson in the archives and you have a question during the lesson, then feel free to click on that survey button. And at the end of the survey, there's a place for you to ask your question, and I will do my best to get back to you with the answer to that question. But if you're with us live as we're recording this today, then feel free to click on that chat button, and you can talk with all the other students who are logged in during the live lesson. And if you have a question about the lesson, then you can just go ahead and type that into the box that says, Ask Jamin a question, and we will do our best to answer that question live in the lesson. All right, I think that's the end of the boring stuff. I'm ready to learn a song. Stay tuned at the end of the lesson and I'll show you how to win more points and earn more prizes next week. But for right now, let's get this party started.
Welcome back to KidsLearnPianoLive.com. My name is Jamin, and this, moderating the chat room, is the incomparable Kendra.
Guess what? I played Minecraft for the first time ever.
What?
Yep.
No, I thought you were going to say for our first time in a long time. You've never played Minecraft before.
No, I haven't.
Okay.
Not till now.
Okay.
Yeah.
What did you do?
Well, I had the help of one of my friends who
Uh-huh.
is very experienced in Minecraft, and I
Yes.
learned all about crafting and mining. I fell into the lava.
Yes.
Um,
Wonderful.
Yeah.
You got the
yeah.
whole experience.
I did, right, yeah. Learned how to fight, kinda.
Okay.
Found some diamonds.
'Kay.
That was fun.
Wow, you're speaking just like a Minecrafter. How fantastic.
Victory.
Well, welcome
Thank
to the
you.
club.
Thank you. I'm
Right.
excited.
Yeah. Well, tonight we're doing a song from Finding Dory, I think, during the credits. Oh, hey, buddy. Yes, we'll move along. Good to see you, Kloppel. So Kloppel will be back to tell me to hurry along in a little bit. But first, I want to play you this song from the credits from Finding Dory. And at the end, there's a song that goes something like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Beyond the sun, she's there watching for me. If I could fly like birds on high, then straight to her arms I'd go sailing. So if you recognize that from the movie, I'm going to show you all of the notes. We're going to go a little bit slower, and I'm going to show you our very first note on this thing is a G. So we'll slow this thing way down. To find a G, we just take any group of 3 black notes, like those ones, or like those ones. Just don't pick a group of 2, and you should be safe. Pick any group of 3. I'm going to pick them kind of medium low-ish on the piano. But you can pick any group of 3 black notes, and just take the middle note and drag it slightly to the left. On the piano, we call that down, because these notes go down, and these notes go up. So we're going to take that middle note in a group of 3 and drag it slightly down until we land on a white note, and that one is a G. So you don't need to know necessarily that it's a G, but that's our first note. And our second note is not the next note over or the next note over, but the next note over after that. So you're going to skip over 2 white notes for your first 2 notes of the song Somewhere. Those happen to be a G and a C, because after a G in the musical alphabet, it just starts over. So it goes A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. So anyway, we're going from a G up to a C, but you don't have to know what any of the letters are. Just know that you're going to start on that one right there. That's right below the middle note in a group of 3 black notes. And we're going to skip over 2 notes and land right there and say out loud, this is the important part. This is the part that you actually do have to do. Say out loud, somewhere. Cool. After that, we're going to go 1 note to the left. That would land us on a B. And then we're going to go up 4 notes. So 1, 2, 3, 4, just like that. So after we play Somewhere, we're going to go 1 note to the left and then play that one, that one, that one, that one. And yes, you do have to say the words out loud, beyond the sea. Beyond the sea. In this case, you actually do say B while you play a B. Usually that doesn't work out that way. But in this case, we're going to say B while we play a B, and then we're going to play those ones right there. Unfortunately, during the word C, you're not playing a C, you're playing an E. All right, so it didn't totally work out for us, but beyond the sea. So hopefully you're practicing those ones. Somewhere beyond the sea. And along with the track, that would go something like this. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Somewhere beyond the sea. So we got kind of a long break right here between where and be. Okay, cool. So once we get up to that point, and if you're not at that point yet, that's fine. Just mute your device so that you can't hear me anymore, and just keep practicing that, because none of the other notes matter until you kind of understand how that works, and you can play through some of that and say those out loud. So maybe you need to mute me right now, but somewhere beyond the sea, right there, we're on an E, and we're going to jump down to a C, which means we're going to jump over 1 note to get to that one right there and say out loud, she's, and then go 1 note to the right, and we're going to say out loud, there. So there is kind of a lot of turning around back and forth on this one, but that would all together be somewhere beyond the sea, she's there. Okay, cool. Once you have that down, you're ready for line 2. And a lot of you were feeling before like, yes, I've got this. I can do this. And now that we're moving on, you're feeling like, no, slow down. I'm not ready yet. That's fine. You can go back to this video and rewatch this next section as many times as you need. Just practice the part that makes sense in your head, but your hands can't quite do yet. for everybody else, I'm going to move on, and for future you to come back and watch this video, I'm going to move on to this next section, which starts on a B. And we had a B up there on the first line. We ended our last line on a D, so we're going to skip down over one note and land on a B and play that note and the next note and the next note. Cool. The highest note we played so far is an E. So if you keep an eye on that E, we're going to use that one right here on this line. So we're going to play Watching for Me. That's kind of tricky, but I think you can do it with enough practice. Let's try everything up to me, up to right there, along with the track. But if you're watching in the archives, press pause on the video, practice up all the notes up to me. But if you're live with us, just play all the notes that you can and don't worry about the ones that you miss. Everyone's going to be playing their own version. Let's go, starting on the G. Ready? Here we go. And a 2, and a 1, 2, go. Somewhere. Cool, so hopefully we got that much. And then beyond the sea, she's there watching for me. Okay, cool. So that thing that we did before where we like played a whole bunch of notes that we had to go like one note to the left and then we played a bunch of notes in a row, we're gonna do that again. We're currently sitting on an E and we wanna go one note to the left and then play 4 notes all in a row. Now, the cool thing is, I've got all these pressed down here, so you can see these 4 notes. The very next thing after this is going to be the note that's on that side of these 4 notes, and then the note that's on that side of these 4 notes. So if you can kind of keep these in your mind as you're playing them, if I could fly, we're going to play this one, and then this one. So the one that's all the way to the left side of that chunk, and the one's all the way to that side of that chunk. And that would be... If I could fly like birds on high, and then we're almost done with the song once you get that far. So let's try the first 2 lines along with the track. It goes something like this. Oh, what? The last time through? No. Okay, this can't be the last time through. We don't know all the notes yet. Let me show you the rest of the notes. If you don't get them all, that's fine. Just come back to the video later and pick up the rest of these notes. I want to show you how the rest of this song goes. So we have 1 line left. And because Clapple's so impatient, this has to be our last time through. So we ended on that A right there. So we're going to play all of the notes from this A all the way down to that A with 2 exceptions. So we're going to skip over this one right here. We're not going to play the F. And we're not going to play the B. So we're going to play all of those notes. Everything except for the F and the B. So we're going to play Then Straight to Her Arms I'd. Okay, cool. So we can play all those notes, but skip over the F and the B. So we're going to play 2 white notes, skip and play 3 white notes, and then skip and play 1 white note. And then we just come back up after we hit the bottom. Then straight to her arms I'd. Come back up. And up 1 more, and then end the whole thing on a C. And that'd be, then straight to her arms, I'd go sailing. That's all of the notes. If you don't get the last ones, that's fine. You can come back and practice those later. But this is going to be our last time through. At least get those first 2 notes. If you're in the archives, of course, press pause. Practice up the whatever notes you want to try along with the track. And if you are live with us, just get all the notes you can. Maybe it's only the first 2 notes. That's all right. Here we go. 1 and a 2 and a 1, 2, go. Somewhere beyond the sea, she's there watching me. We're gonna go 1 to the left and then play 4 notes. If I could fly like birds on high, play all the notes except for F and B. Then straight to her arms I'd go sailing. Cool. So if you don't have all those notes yet, that's cool too. Just keep on practicing that. We're gonna do some other games and stuff right now. So if you wanna like mute the video during those games and just practice, that's cool. Or you can play the games with us, but we're gonna practice this level more once we get into the level 2, 3, 4, and 5. You can keep on doing this. But for right now, we wanna say happy birthday to everyone who had a birthday in May. Happy birthday. happy birthday. If it was your birthday this month, then the points have already been added to your account. And for all of our art contest winners and participants, you have picked up some extra points as well. And here is this month's art contest winner. And because it's May, we're actually going to have 2 art contest winners. So tune in next week when we announce the second May winner of the art contest. And everyone who entered already got some points. And if you are wanting to pick up more points for more games and more prizes, then Kendra, tell us about this week's weekly activity.
Yeah, so this week is the bass clef dice, and you just cut out the dice and tape them together so you can test yourself on the bass clef. And tag Learn Piano Live when you post a picture on Facebook or Instagram for 150 bonus points from our mascot penguin Clopple.
And we'll be talking more about the bass clef when we get to mailbag. But for right now, let's play a little game we like to call Diminished or Augmented. So there is 2 weird kinds of chords. One of them is called a diminished chord. It sounds like this. Or there's also an augmented chord, which sounds like this. So those are the 2 weirdest kind of chords that we have. We got major chords and minor chords too, but those are pretty normal and we play them all the time. But these 2 weird chords, diminished or augmented, these are the 2 that most people have the hardest time with. So we've put them both together. And you're going to try to guess whether the chord that I play is diminished or whether it's augmented. And you're going to try to guess before Kendra does. So, Kendra, pop in. She's pretty good at this, so she's probably...
This is really challenging,
I think, one of the hardest games that we play. So, again, the diminished chord is the one that feels like it's really suspenseful, right? And then the augmented chord is the one that just, like, feels like plain weird. Like, I don't know, it feels to me like a whole tone scale or like the Alice falling down the rabbit hole kind of a thing.
Oh,
like
yeah.
a dream or something. So anyway, if you feel like that's weird, that feels like a dream, then that's gonna be your augmented chord. And if you feel one is like, this is so suspenseful, I hope nobody dies, then that's probably the diminished chord. So here we go. Good luck. Try to guess before Kendra does. What chord do you think this is right here? One more time. And one more time. Kendra, what's your guess? Suspenseful or dreamy?
It's the way you're playing. It's dreamy. I don't know. It's so hard to tell.
If you guessed diminished, you have the rare privilege of being right when Kendra was wrong, because this one is a diminished chord.
It could be dreamy.
All right, so that one's diminished. She got something wrong. She got something wrong.
I guess it depends on the dream.
Okay. Thanks for ruining the game for me.
What?
Okay, you're right. It does depend on the dream. Fine. Okay, so what about this one right here? What kind of chord is this? Is this diminished or augmented? What do you think, Kendra?
Augmented?
This one is augmented. Yeah, so this. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, cool. So if you guessed augmented at home, hopefully you guessed it before she did. All right, so we got 2 more of these. Here we go. This one right here. Does that one sound diminished or augmented? What do you think, Kendra?
Is it augmented?
It is augmented.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, okay, cool. And then the last one that we're going to have for today is going to be this one right here. Does this one sound diminished or augmented? Is this suspenseful or dreamy? What do you think, Kendra?
Diminished?
This one is diminished.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, okay, cool.
50-50.
So that was diminished or augmented, and you had the rare opportunity to beat Kendra, not only in getting it before she did, but getting more right than she did. So if you did, then let us know. But right now, it's time for a little bit of mailbag.
If you'd like to win an extra 750 points by being the mailbag winner, just fill out the survey at the end of the lesson, or send us a message anytime during the week using the contact button at the top of the page.
And this week it's from PG Lefebvre, who says, "Dear Jamin, why is the bass clef so hard to do?" It's because it's not. It's probably because I'm guessing. I don't know this for sure. I'm guessing you're right-handed, and I'm also guessing that the first songs that you ever played on sheet music were in the treble clef, which means you've been practicing the treble clef for a long, long time. But there are people who start in the bass clef and people who are left-handed, so they're playing left-handed bass clef stuff way before they're playing their right-handed treble clef stuff, and they feel the opposite of you. They write in and say, "Why is the treble clef so difficult?" So it really comes down to, oh no, I'm gonna say it out loud, aren't I? I think I am. It really comes down to practice time. So whatever you spent the most time practicing, that's the one that feels like the easiest one. So spend more time just on the bass clef, and the bass clef will feel just as easy as the treble clef, but it really comes down to practice time. But yeah, the bass clef does use the left hand, and most people are right-handed. So for most people, they feel like the bass clef is all the clunky parts and all the most difficult parts. And that's part of the reason that when we get into the level 3 and 4 and 5 stuff, we try to make the bass clef part a little bit simpler because most people feel a little bit clunky on their left hand, but not everybody does. So, but that's kind of a secret amongst those left-handed people. They're like, haha, the bass clef is way easier than the treble clef. But we have some other secrets. We call them secret information.
Secret information.
And this week in our top secret information folder. Now, if you're a Music Lessons in a Box subscriber, you already got this secret information in this fancy folder. So you might already know this stuff, but for everybody else, this is a secret just for people who are paying attention during this part. I'm not going to say this during any of the rest of the lesson, but this thing that we do at the beginning of our song, it's called a 1-6-2-5. Let me show you that. That's 1 and then 6 and then 2 and 5, because if we played all the notes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, that right there is the 6th note. So 1, 6, 2, 5. This thing right here, and especially the parts that we're going to be playing at the beginning of like the level 4 stuff, we're playing like 1, 6, 2, 5, 1, 6, 2, 5. This is a great intro for pretty much any song. If you just play that on the piano, you don't even have to play a song. If you just play 1, 6, 2, 5, 1, 6, 2, 5, 1, 6, 2, 5. People will think that that's a song. But if you want to have a great intro to any of your songs, practice the 1, 6, 2, 5 thing, and that's a great intro for almost any song on the piano. Next, on our secret information profile, it says this melody is built around a climbing phrase peak. Let's see if we can figure out what that one is. So we've got, let's see here. The highest part of this phrase is a C. And then the highest part of this phrase right here is an E or a D. And then the highest one of this phrase is an E. And the highest one of this phrase is a G. Oh my goodness, it is. The highest one in that phrase is an A. And then it goes all the way from the A all the way down to a C. Actually, if you're writing songs, if you're in like Clapple Academy level 3 or 4 or 5, this is a great example of how to write a song. If you just take out those notes, we've got a C, and then a D, and then an E, and then a G, and then A. So that's like the highest point of each of those phrases. So we got a phrase where the highest thing is a C, and that phrase where the highest thing is a D, and then an E, and then a G, and then an A. So it's like building all this tension by getting higher and higher and higher and higher and higher. And at the end of the song, it all comes back down to C, all the way from the A all the way down to C, and that's what makes it feel so resolved at the end. So it kind of builds that tension by getting higher and higher and higher and higher. If you're writing songs, you might want to try that too, by making phrases that go higher and higher and higher, and then resolving by coming all the way back down. That's kind of cool. Okay, next, last thing in our top secret information folder is that this is our first song ever with 2, not 1, but 2 secondary dominants. So if we go in here to level, let's go to level 4. We can see in here that we've got a couple secondary dominants. One is this E, and E doesn't belong in the key of C. Only E minor does. And the other one would be this A right here. That A doesn't belong in the key of C. Both of those are going to use black notes. So if you see an E or an A in the chords right there, those are secondary dominants. Usually we only have one, but this is the first time we've got 2 of them. So there's going to be 2 parts of this song where the notes go kind of crazy because we're going to be using all these black notes because we've got secondary dominants, which means in the key of C, chords that use black notes like the E chord and like the A chord. So that's all the secrets. Again, I'm not going to point that out for anybody else. So if you were paying attention, you got the secrets. Everybody else, they're just not going to get them, but they might win the raffle, or maybe it's you. Let's find out. So sadly, the lesson preview has come to an end, and it's time to say goodbye to everyone watching the free streams. Of course, paying subscribers at learnpianolive.com can continue watching this lesson and several hundred others like it in the archives. So come on over and check us out. And if you like what you saw, at least like and subscribe, and then tell your friends to head on over to learnpianolive.com to start enjoying this journey with us.